Salutations and good morrow everyone, and welcome back to another grounded update video where today I'm going to be going through and showing you guys 4 different locations where you can go and fight Black Widow spiders inside of Grounded. And before we go any further, I'm also going to be telling you guys that yes, Black Widow spiders do respawn, and it takes about 8 to 9 in-game days for them to do that. But you can go and fight these guys over and over and over again, so don't be afraid to go out and make an entire Black Widow armor set. Don't be afraid to go out and make yourself some of those super poison arrows. But let's get in there and let's talk about all 4 locations, and then once we're done, we'll also talk about some tips and tricks for beating them, as well as what you get for beating them. But let's start off with number 1, guys. Here, right over here, we are at a giant toolbox in the upper backyard area. Right here underneath this toolbox has a little cave underneath it. What you want to do is you want to run right over here, and you're going to go into a gully that is right underneath the toolbox. You're going to drop down here. Once you start seeing all these spider webs, you know you are in the right location. You just want to run right over here, and then inside of this cave is where the Black Widow spider is going to be. Now, there is a trick with this Black Widow spider that's actually pretty awesome that I'm going to walk you guys through right now. If you guys bring a bow with you, now this is pre any updates that have happened to 1.0, but if you bring a bow with you, and you stand here and you shoot it at a distance, it gets stuck right here in its doorway, and you can actually just sit here and shoot it with arrows to kill it. This is the only one that I know that this happens to, by the way. This is the only spider that will not chase you through this hole. Even if you stun it and knock it back, it still comes here and it will not attack you. So you can sit here and shoot it with arrows to your heart's content, and this will be your easiest Black Widow fight that you have in the game. This probably is not going to be the best Black Widow fight you have in the game, because it's not really all that exciting to go through and fight the Black Widow like this, but all in all, it can be done, and with a couple perks, better arrows, and maybe even a crossbow, you'll be able to do this a heck of a lot faster than me with an insect bow and plain old arrows and nothing else to them. But on to the next location. Okay, guys, for this second location, you are going to need to have unlocked the Undershed door. Just so you guys know, in order to unlock the Undershed door, you're going to need to go through the story enough to get it. I made an entire video showing you guys how to unlock this door, but there's a big, like, 5-step process you need to do in order to get here. But nonetheless, this is where the Undershed door is, and we're actually going to be going through this door and running underneath the shed. So you want to make your way through this base that's over here. It doesn't take very long to get through. Be careful, there might be a fire ant in here. You want to run back over here, and then you want to just grip this line that's over here, this power line, and then hop onto this power conduit, I believe is what this is right here. This more or less this big wire. You want to hop on this and then onto this pipe and follow this pipe back and around. You really should have a tuft at this point as well if you guys are going to come over here. That's probably important, because one of the things we have to do next, it's easier if you have a tuft. You don't need one, you'll take some damage, but it's easier if you have a tuft. Be careful of the dust mites that are right there. If they hit you, they'll lower your attack speed and your running speed, but nonetheless, you could get away from them pretty quick. You want to run all the way back here in this location and just keep on running all the way down this pipe. There's a lot of pipe in this game now. You got to run on top of all of it. Okay. Running right up over here, you're now going to jump over across here onto this rock and then up onto this screwdriver. Don't fall down into that gully down there. That's not where you want to go. You want to run right over this way. Get to right over here. Now, there's also a wolf spider that walks around over here, and there it is right there. And if you walk too far up that way, there's also a black ox beetle, but you want to run down this little path over here. Now, here's a tip. Jump up on this rock and run over to this location. If you run over here and you have a tuft with you, you can actually fall down a lot closer to where you need to be for this. You're more or less going to that platform that's right over there. You need to get to that platform. And in order to do that, you got to make sure that you don't die on your way down. But if you have a tuft, you could get down to right here. You want to jump over here. Jump up here. Run back along over here. You have a ton of mosquitoes to fight. It's either 4 or 5, depending on how many follow you. But you have 4 or 5 mosquitoes in this area that you'll have to fight. But ignoring them and running on in here, I just recently killed this one, so she's not here. But this is the 4th location of the second location of the Black Widow spider. Not 4th, 2nd location of the Black Widow spider. Okay, so yes, another spider den. This is probably the biggest arena that you have to fight one in. So this is probably going to be the best one for you guys to try melee first. And melee does work against these things, but their resistances are pretty crazy. Their resistances are as follows. So they are right here. They have no weaknesses and resistant to everything. They're resistant to everything in the game. You don't have a way in order to easily beat these guys. They're just meant to be small tanks in the yard that when you run across them, you have to fight them. Now, this one you do not have to fight. If you guys want to beat the story, you can walk around it. Just hug one of the outside walls, preferably this wall. This is the easier wall to hug. So you just hug this wall, walking around the outside of the Black Widow. Don't forget your Mega Milk Molar that's right there, and just make your way off that way to your next endeavor. But now we're going to be going over to the 3rd Black Widow location, and for this one you're going to need a bomb. Here we are at location number 3 for the Black Widow spiders, and this one is definitely a sign the deal and you're committed to fighting a Black Widow spider, because this one you literally have to drop down into its den. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. First things first is you're gonna need a bomb to blow up this location right here. This is where I am on the map, literally right off the corner of the shed deck that's right here. It's right here. We probably ran past it. I can't even tell you how many times doing different things in the story, but here it is right here. You want to grab yourself a good old bomb and you want to throw it at this hole that's right here and blow that out. Defeat any fire ants that decide that they also want to party. Be gone now. And bye. Okay. So once that's gone, you want to run over down here in this location, and you have a couple different things in here. One, you have a little path that looks like you can jump up that way, and a raw science that's in a hole. This is what I mean to the fact that you need to commit that you are going down in this cave, because once you go down here, you cannot get back out again until after you beat her or run away from her. But turning up right there, there she is, literally standing right there for everybody's destroying pleasure. You could go ahead and fight her if you so want to. It looks like that she's kind of stuck right now, but this one you can't really cheese, because once she's stuck like this, all it takes is you knocking her out of where she's stuck, and she will be able to come and attack you once again. So sometimes she gets stuck right here, guys, but don't take this as a easy cheese for yourself, because she can always get out from being stuck in the map. Alright, so on to location number 4 to show you guys where the last Black Widow location is. Okay guys, and this one is going to be the one that is probably going to take you the longest to walk to, but I decided to leave this one for number 4 because it's the furthest away from where you start, and we are on the backside of Moldor Castle right now. You are way the heck over here on the map, and where we're actually going is right up underneath here. So I'll show you guys, you want to just turn straight around, run back over here where there is a little research outpost for you to be able to get any upgrades that you may want to get right before you run into this battle. And no, sadly, there's no granola bars in this one either. But let's run on over this way, and we are going to be running back in this back corner. What you're looking for is another spider-filled cave. So just make your way back here, just a little bit of a jaunt. Bring some good stuff with you, like a lot of healing items. Like, that's one of my tips that I can give you guys. If you guys want to go and fight these things, bring like 30 healing items with you. And I mean smoothies, not just fiber bandages. Bring smoothies, because these things hit really hard. I'm going to give you guys a couple more tips and tricks here in just a second, but this is location 4 for our Black Widow spiders in the game. You guys can go and fight all 4 of them now to your heart's content. Now let's talk about what you can get from them, and also some tips and tricks on how to take them down. Okay, so here we are, and where we're going to be talking about the new armor that got added for the Black Widows, as well as the weapon that got added to the Black Widow. The first thing I want to talk about is the weapon. The weapon is an important one, guys. You are going to need it for getting Pond Moss. It's the only tier 3 dagger in the game, and if you come over to the workbench, it'll show you what you need in order to make it. You're going to need 1 Black Widow Fang, 3 Lint Rope, and the harder of all the other 2 items that you need to get is 4 Black Widow Super Spider Venom. This venom is a pain in the butt to get. You can get between 0 and 3 from a Black Widow spider. So that'll tell you why it's such a pain in the butt to get, because if you kill all 4 of them and one happens to drop none and the other 3 happen to drop 1, you need to go back and fight a 5th Black Widow spider just to get this dagger. Now, it is a pretty good dagger. It has a lot of poison on it. It has a decent amount of damage and its speed is all the way up there, but it still does not have any stunning power to it, which personally I found to be a little bit silly that it didn't have that, but nonetheless, it's still awesome that you're able to get this weapon. It also can be upgraded down any path that you guys want it to be upgraded down, so if you guys go and do some upgrades, like I said, any path you want, sour, spicy, fresh, or salty, fresh, and mighty, whatever path you want it to go down, that is what it can go down. But enough about the weapon, let's talk the armor. The armor is a pretty cool looking armor set. It's like a cranked up cooler version of the spider armor. It does pretty good here. It gives you plus to poison damage, and you need a lot of Black Widow parts in order to make it. So you're going to need 2 fangs and 3 super venom in order to make the hood and some lint rope, which isn't that bad. Then for the chest piece, or the spalders, you're going to need 2 more fangs, some rust, and some lint rope. So this one's actually the easiest of them. And then going down to the legs that are down here, you're going to need 2 more fangs, some rust, and pond moss. And that pond moss is a pain because you need the tier 3 dagger in order to get it. So it's some incredibly difficult armor to make because you're going to need to kill them enough to get the weapon before you can go through and get the legs. But nonetheless, once you have it, you become pretty deadly with poison. All in all, the stats are pretty good. If we come over here and look at our statuses, because I have the armor on right now, each piece gives you plus to poison damage, which is great. The armor set bonus gives you death's impetus. It says killing things provides you with a boost of energy, briefly increasing movement speed, which is really, really good. And if you guys go down the sleek path for this armor, let's just go ahead and get this little piece upgraded here. The sleek path gives you parry poison, which parry poison gives you perfect blocks have a chance to apply poison to the attacker. So all in all, this is a very poison-esque build. Now, poison has been ruled as one of the more finicky things in the game. As you're using it, it can apply poison, it can't apply poison, you know, and it depends on the amount of damage it's doing. Now, let's talk a couple tips and tricks as well while I have you guys here for fighting the Black Widow spiders. So the Black Widow spiders, they are tanks. Like I said, they are resistant to everything. They don't like being attacked, they hit like a truck, and they have a seriously deadly poison. I find the Black Widow spiders even more difficult than fighting the Broodmother boss, and the Broodmother boss has a ton of adds. Also, around each one of the Black Widow spiders, there are a bunch of whittlings, but just use a bow in order to get the whittlings to come and attack you first. Take those out, and then begin your fight with the Black Widow. Tips and tricks, like I said, a bunch of smoothies is going to be king for you. Having a bunch of smoothies, make sure they're meaty smoothies, you're going to need the extra healing, is going to be awesome. Also, having the perk from the milk molars that allows you to get more healing from each healing item, that's also going to be a bonus as well. Couple other things you can try. I like to use melee weapons and perfect block. That's my thing. I found that to be extraordinarily difficult because if you get hit once, you're now poisoned. Speaking of poison, get your tier 3 poison resistance before you go and fight any of these things. You just got to kill 5 wolf spiders, and wolf spiders are going to be some excellent practice when you guys are going to get that mutation. So get out there, kill some wolf spiders, get your mutation, and then get over there and fight the Broodmother afterwards. Remember, it's only 5, so get out there and wipe them out. You guys got this. At least it was 5 before this update, so maybe it's changed, but nonetheless, it was 5. Then, last thing I can give you guys a tip for attempting to cheese it, wear an ecologist badge, and then try to use super gas arrows, running around using super gas arrows if you can. It's going to be extraordinarily dangerous because you can't block, so you're probably going to need even more healing items, but super gas arrows and running away from it might be able to do it. Don't forget the one that you guys can cheese, and also don't forget to go around and collect all these so you guys can have a full armor set and full weapon and get all that pond moss so you guys can unlock one of the best stabs in the game that I used in order to beat the game, and that is the sour stab. But thank you guys all so much for watching this one. If you guys liked it, make sure you guys hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment down below of other guides you want me to do, like how to find a sour battle axe, where are all the toenails, and as well as where the heck is Dr. Wendell Tully's SCA.B. But thank you guys all so much, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in the next one.